Well, hello. This is John with Gringo.dev, reporting almost live from Mexico City, Mexico. Today, we are going to talk about the latest updates to the Stoic Developer. For context, full context, I recommend that you watch the previous couple of videos on the channel talking about what I'm doing here. But the summary, briefly, is that I am doing a little bit of a podcast project where I narrate passages of classic Stoic philosophy from people like Marcus Aurelius. Speaking of, the most recent episode is now live on the homepage, so go to stoic.gringo.dev, sign up, save episodes if you'd like to, and all of that good stuff. Before I continue, please go ahead, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you are so inclined. I am not trying to sell anybody anything on this channel, just trying to have fun, and the more people who join and interact, the more fun I tend to have. So please do me a favor, support the channel. And now let's talk about what has changed since the last time we talked. So, subtle difference, but if you go to the home page, you will notice, if you're signed in, that you now get notifications in response to actions that you take. And nothing too earth-shattering there, but if you've done this in the past, you know that they're kind of a pain in the ass to hook up yourself. So, how did I do that? And the answer is a library called Filament, filamentphp.com. And Filament is most well known as an admin panel project for Laravel installations. However, it has always been possible to use the individual components that are most popular from their admin stuff in other contexts. And so you have the ability to get very rich form components from them. You can build tables with them. You can do notifications with them. And so notifications are the part that we are extracting from their admin panel and using as an individual component in the rest of our project. And so you can follow the instructions here to get started. The only thing that was not obvious or not fully spelled out here is that they make a little note. You have to call into Livewire notifications, this blade directive here. Make sure you do that because if you don't, it's not going to work. So anyway, going back, the code here is pretty straightforward. So you can find the repo, by the way, homepage, click the GitHub icon. That'll take you straight here. Go and find the adding toasts commit. And you can see that most of this is actually just refactoring layouts. The part where I call filament after installing it is just a few blade directives, nothing too crazy. And the part where I add a notification is also equally straightforward. So before I was doing stuff like boarding with a 403 if somebody was unauthorized. Now we can do things like just check the permission and then we show a toast if permission is denied. Same if you went into one of these weird flows where you hit the back button and the thing that you're trying to unfavorite is already unfavorited instead of just boarding with a 404. Now we can send you a notification that says that the favorite is not found. And of course, in the success cases, you can say favorite removed or favorite added, all that stuff. The API is very simple, very elegant, and it looks very nice out of the box. But of course, you can style that yourself if you want to. And that actually brings me to the one nit. So I did have a small problem, and I think it's probably just a maturity thing. Once Livewire 3 is really fully adopted and baked into all of the different projects, this will probably get sorted out. However, I did notice that when navigating between pages, if I had a notification that was pending up here, so we had that going, then I went to my dashboard and I came back, sometimes the notification would reload on the back button. So there's an event exposed from Livewire called Navigating, and this fires when you are leaving the current page in response to a Livewire navigation event. And so you can just do some very basic DOM manipulation here, find all of the toasts, which are all prefixed by this FINO class, and then just remove them from the DOM. And this little attribute that we have here for data navigate once, that comes from Livewire as well. And it just says that you don't want to run this script block multiple times every time you navigate, because then you would be having the event listener trigger whatever 20 times, depending on how many times you've navigated. So that ensures that it gets loaded once and applies to all of the pages. So anyway, aside from that little tweak that I had to do, everything was very smooth out of the box. And I am excited to actually plumb in some of these other things too. So right now, I don't have a need for an elaborate table or an elaborate form. But the moment that I do, I'm definitely going to use Filament for that because it is just so easy and probably higher quality than the stuff that I would build myself, at least in the constraints of this sort of MVP prototype type project. So that is all for today. I hope that was useful. Keep going to the site for updates. Again, it's stoic.gringo.dev. And again, if you could like, subscribe, comment, it helps the channel a lot. And I do appreciate it very much. I will see you guys next time.